I take music and sound very seriously, and I found through listening to Tupac, you can be immortalized through your music. So one of the lines in it where I say is that I envision it forever infinite, now I'm limitless. Like, that's a real thing. It's deeper than music for me, you know what I mean? So it's about just prospering, putting yourself forward, putting your vision forward. Whatever that vision is, it may not just be music, just put yourself in something where it will immortalize you for the next person that you can technically save, I guess, in that sense, you know what I mean? So, because the first time I heard my favorite artist, I feel like he was speaking to me directly, you know what I mean? And it kind of saved me from like, oh wow, like I can self-express here. I can move myself. I can, feel these emotions and say things on this piece of paper that I can never say out loud. And I just want to do that for the next person. I see myself in the journey just still growing. That's what the vision is about. You know what I mean? It took, I don't want to say how long it took to write the joint, but just say that it took me to go through something to create that story. So that also just showed me within that song, particularly in itself, is that, even if I have an idea for something, it doesn't mean that the story is ready for it. So I had to kind of live through life to actually to tell that story, to go to the next chapter. So each record at this point is just a chapter of where I'm at, where I'm headed, where I'm going. Even if it's something I created today, I may not even be able to tell that story until 4 years from now. That's how I look at my music now. Before, I used to be braggadocious. You know what I mean? I got a car. I didn't have a car. I think, an ice, whatever the case may be. But now it's just like, I'm really telling a story to express myself, to help others. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I didn't have nobody when I needed them as a kid or as a teenager, the case may be. But, having kids, you kind of realize oh, they may go through something. They may feel this way. Or just having a nephew or something. Oh, he may feel this way. Let me be there for them. So. Growing up in Flushing, Queens, it was what people may not know. There's a lot of diversity, but there is not a lot of diversity. For example, where I was, it was just mostly Asian people. You know what I mean? So we were taught at a younger age, look, you can't go in those stores. You can't be singing, mingling with Chinese people unless it's at school. You just assume that they don't understand what you're saying, rude, whatever the case may be, smelling food, whatever. Being young and naive, right? I never thought about, maybe I should learn from their culture. Maybe I should adapt to the environment, you know what I mean? But when you realize that, I'm in somebody else's town or somebody else's environment, you can adapt to that. I could have learned more if I just learned their language, you know what I mean? Go into their store, learn their language, understand what's going on with them. And that helped me shape me as an artist, is because that's just what I do with music now. I don't really mess with this type of music, maybe metal or something like rock or something like that. But if I just give it a listen, maybe that can help me shape the form of my perspective of music, and how I approach the next song could be different. Right now, I'm a big fan of hip hop house. I would ask me 10 years, bro. I would have never listened to hip hop house, but now, I love K-Tronal to death. You can't tell me nothing about K-Tronal, man. But that actually all that just helped me shape into be a person, something different. You know what I mean? Just even traveling, just whatever. Try new things, go to different opportunities. It just shapes me as a person, as a man, and as an artist at the end of the day. But Flushing, being in Flushing, the diversity itself, it was definitely a culture shock. But that all just shaped me to who I am today. I replace every part of every track, I'm telling a story, whether it's a small piece or just a broad thing. In Envision, I'm telling the whole story from how I wanted to be the best. I told a story about my grandmother being where I was at, you know what I mean? I'm talking about started rapping with my cousin. I'm giving you basically the whole story of everything that touched me. Like we just talked about earlier, I even talked about how I used to love R&B, a certain type of R&B, and I used to get laughed at it because I liked it so much. But all I heard was melodies from it. You understand what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that everything that I'm saying in this song and how I approach it is just, everything that I was being laughed at or that traumatized me or how I began to the music journey is how I'm telling my story to give you Envision. It's the first first step to voicing myself, finding my voice. This is the very first step. This is something that I deem to be rather important to me. You know what I mean? And if it's important to me, I'm assuming it's going to be important to the person I'm trying to reach. Just one step at a time. Like that's just all this is. You know what I mean? Just taking it day by day. And the way that, you know, and the reception from it is like, okay, like as much as this means to me, this means something to somebody. You know what I mean? So hopefully just whenever the audience hears it, like they feel it as well, you know?